Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm in my comfies in the kitchen and today we're going to be making a keto custard square. A custard square is a classic Kiwi bakery dessert, I guess, or treat. It is so yummy. There are puffy pastry layers, a really sweet baked custard, and then it's topped off with a delicious icing. Normally vanilla, but sometimes passion fruit. Today in the kitchen, we're gonna make both because I like options. And this custard square will fit your keto or low carb, high fat diet. So let's tear into it. First, grab your scale and a bowl that's microwave safe to make your keto pastry dough. This is my favorite puff pastry. It's a sweet puff pastry and it uses keto sweetener that's a powdered keto sweetener. I like to make my own, but you can buy already pre-made sweeteners, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own if you want. First, start with your granular sweetener of choice. I like this one, which is an erythritol stevia blend. To make it into powdered sugar or icing sugar, you just need to use a NutriBullet or something similar, one with an S blade. So pour it into the container and blitz it, and instantly it will turn into icing sugar or powdered sugar. It is honestly that easy. Once you have your powdered sugar, you can then put it into a container. I like to store mine in a jar where it can stay, and each time you need to use powdered sweetener or icing sugar in a recipe, you can just grab it from here. Now that you have your keto sweetener ready to go, let's start on the dough. The first step is putting in your mozzarella into a microwave safe bowl and popping this in the microwave to soften. You want to microwave this in increments of 30 seconds, no more. While that's in the microwave, start mixing together all of your dry ingredients, which you'll add later to the cheese mixture. This is after 30 seconds in the microwave, and you can see it's not quite done yet, so I'm popping it back in for another 30 seconds. You want to repeat this until it's perfect. Once you have your cheese, and it should be this kind of texture, easy to move around but not too melty, not too hot, you can then add it into your dry mix and add in your egg too. The way in which I like to incorporate my dough to make keto pastry is using a plastic spatula, and as you can see, I fold the mixture in to make the dough ball. Once you have your dough, you want to then press it out to be the shape that you want, to be the base of your custard square. I'm doing this by using 2 pieces of baking paper, and I just use my hands and the heat from my hands to smooth out the dough to get it to the shape that I want. Now that my pastry is ready for the oven, I'm starting on my custard filling, and I'm starting with my gelatin powder and my water to let this bloom. While that blooms, I'm going to get on with the hot sweetened cream milk mixture. So in a saucepan, I'm adding in my almond milk, my cream, and my powdered sweetener to make sure that everything dissolves, as well as my vanilla extract. This bit is really tricky. You need to separate out 4 egg yolks for your custard filling, and the way in which I separate it out is just by moving my egg between the shells. Once you have your egg yolks separated, then use an electric whisk to break them up and mix them in together really, really well. And then to your egg yolk mixture, you're going to carefully and slowly add in your hot cream almond milk sweetened mixture. Once that's all combined in nice and slowly, I add a little bit of that hot sweetened cream milk mixture to my gelatin just to make sure it's all mixed in, and then I add that back into my bowl and mix one last time really thoroughly so that all the ingredients are combined, and this is going to form my keto custard. Once that keto custard mixture is totally well combined, I pop it back on the stove and let it reduce down a little bit more to thicken up. This should take 5 to 10 minutes. Once your pastry is ready and it's out of the oven and it's cool, cut it in half so that you have 2 equal pieces. This is going to form the top and the bottom layer of your custard square, and you'll be able to see how it's perfectly puffed up. You also want to remove any edges that are a bit harder and overcooked. Once your custard has reduced down, pop it in a jug and then pop that in the fridge to continue to cool and thicken. Your 2 keto puff pastry layers should be equal because, as I said, these are going to form the top and the bottom layers. And you also want to make sure that it fits into your baking tray too. I pre-cut my custard square pieces just because if you don't do this and then you cut it once your filling's in place, you risk your filling spilling out everywhere. So cut up your pieces and then pop those pieces into your baking dish. It's a little bit of a puzzle to make sure that the right piece fits next to each other. But once your pastry pieces are in place, you can then add in your thickened custard. I've left mine in the fridge for about an hour. You want to make sure it's completely cool before you add it into your baking dish on top of your puff pastry, and then just smooth it out so that it's even. Once your custard has been evenly distributed over top of your base puff pastry layer, you can then start layering on your top puff pastry layer, the pieces that you've already individually cut. Just do the same as what you did with the base and arrange them as they were cut so that it fits perfectly and that there's not any big gaps. Once you've done that, you can pop your custard square back in the fridge to set and you can work on your icing. This is the most delicious and simple keto icing ever, or frosting if you're from the States. You just take softened butter and powdered keto sweetener and vanilla extract and a little splash of heavy whipping cream or pure cream to make a thick, delicious icing. Because I love passion fruit icing on top of my custard square, I'm adding in some passion fruit pulp. This is just unsweetened. It was frozen, but I've thawed it out. Passion fruit pulp that I'm stirring through my icing to make it passion fruit flavored. Once your custard square has finished setting in the fridge for an hour or 2, it's up to you, you can then ice it by simply just putting your icing over top of your top puff pastry layer and smoothing over so that it's evenly distributed. Just be careful when you're doing this step that you smooth it over the top puff pastry layer and you don't lift up any edges. Once you're done, pop it back in the fridge to set for a bit longer, and once it's done after this step, I promise it will be perfect and ready to be enjoyed. It's the next day now. I let my custard square set overnight and I'm gonna pull it out of the tin that it's in, cut it and enjoy. You'll see that I chose to do the passion fruit icing, but it's so easy to make the vanilla icing. Just don't add in the final step, which is what I did, adding in that passion fruit pulp. Taste test this now, picking out like the smallest one. They're pretty big slices. You could definitely cut them smaller. It has all the layers: keto puff pastry, custard, more keto puff pastry, and then icing. Oh my god. Wow. If you guys are missing custard squares, then you have to make these. They are honestly insane and will satisfy your custard square craving right away. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, I would so appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. I upload new videos every single week, so I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you again for watching. Bye!